We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. Cause Kristin knows blank.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kristin Knows Blank podcast. I am your host, Kristin Key. I run this crazy train, and I hope you're having a good day. Today is a good day. If you're not, well, then look out, because we're about to change that. I've got a really fun guest today. I'm actually very excited about. Before we get to that, though, a couple quick special announcements, of one of which is that as of today, you can start watching the long form Q&As from my tour shows. I usually put up little clips from a question here or there, and I've decided to go ahead and just take the entire Q&As as they happened in the moment and put them on YouTube. So go to my YouTube channel, Kristin Key Comedy, subscribe, and you can see all the short videos, but you can also see some long ones now too. So that's pretty exciting. The Camp Kristin tour is rolling through America and Europe and some Canadian dates. So go to kristinkey.com and see when I'm going to be bringing my Camp Kristin tour to a city near you. One of my favorite places in the world to tour is by ship. I take a couple of cruises every year. I used to do it primarily as my job. I was a straight people cruise comedian. I was a comedian on straight people cruises. I wasn't the straight person ever. Anyway, I still keep them on the calendar because I love it so much. And I recently got back from Alaska and enjoyed, I really, really enjoyed that trip so much. And I just missed getting to work with my favorite cruise director by like a matter of days. And so I was a little disappointed by that. And so what I did was I reached out and I wanted to make sure that I got to hang out with her anyway. So today, my podcast guest is a seasoned cruise and travel director with the Holland America line. She's got a background that spans, she worked at Royal Caribbean, National Geographic. She's visited all 50 states, and she's shared her adventures through her blog, The Road Lots Traveled, and her See More book series. She's an incredible person. She's interviewed me while I was the guest entertaining comedian on the ship during a coffee chat. And so to return the favor, I'm having her on my podcast. I think she's absolutely fantastic. She's so knowledgeable when it comes to wildlife, what to do in a city. And she's just a good hang. So kind of selfishly, I just want to hang out with her. Computer lady, will you play that interview with my good friend, Valerie Perry?
Playing interview with Valerie Perry.
This is an unusual Kristin Knows Blank podcast episode because usually we have on comedians and actresses and actors. I've never had on a cruise director before.
And a senator.
I had a senator.
It was like she made a mistake when she sent me this invite, but I'm going to roll with it. And if
you're not Senator Valerie Perry?
Not yet, anyway.
No, I'm so excited to have you on today because like I said, I've never had a cruise director on the Kristin Knows Blank podcast, but I worked with you at least a couple times now on different damn ships, and you're so fascinating that I just thought the world needs to know more about for one thing, you're a woman in a man's business. You're fabulous. Hi, Valerie Perry. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll get to questions. I'm not just going to sit here and throw praises at you and make you uncomfortable the whole time.
Oh, that's disappointing.
You're home right now. So let's just start there. Let's start with where you are today. You're home right now. How long are you home?
I am home I have 2 months off in between assignments. So I traveled for a while. I took like a 10-day California road trip because I left the ship in California. So traveled around for 10 days, then came home for like 6 weeks at home. So I've got another month to go.
Does home feel like home after, because how long are your assignments?
I'm on board for 4 months and then I have 2 months off. So I work 8 months out of the year and I have 4 months of the year off, which is not bad. I only go to work twice a year, as I say. Just when I'm there, I'm there for a while. It's
right.
9 to 5. So I'm off 4 months out of the year, and the first few days at home, it definitely does not feel like home. You're like, well, what is this place? But usually like 2 weeks, same when I go back on board. When I first get back on board, everything seems weird, and 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, it was always this way. So I've now been home 2 weeks, so now it's like, oh yeah, this is normal.
Yeah, I live here. Yeah. And you got off the ship in California and immediately traveled, which as a fellow traveler, when you're off, that is also your time to vacation. So when people are like, oh my God, you're always traveling. What do you do when you're not traveling? I'm like, well, I travel a lot when I'm not traveling because there's always something to see and do.
And when we're traveling, we don't get to pick where we go. Like, I don't decide where the ship goes. Like, oh, I want to see that island. Well, too bad because we're going to that island. So when I'm off, I can decide where I want to go, how long I want to be there, where I want to stay. So it's much more fun to do it that way.
Can I ask you a question? As a cruise director, because you've been in the, I know it's not called a cockpit of a ship so many times, do you think if could you commandeer the ship and like decide you wanted to go somewhere? I mean, just say you went rogue and had a day.
I mean, could I like do I know? I don't really know which buttons to push to take it off of. Here's a cruise ship secret. It's usually on autopilot or whatever it's called.
There's nobody that just.
So there is a wheel.
There's
it's
a
like
wheel.
smaller than a wheel that you would have in your car. Like it's just this teeny. There's not like the big wooden like you spin it and you turn it. Like it's just this like little. It's not even a full circle. It's just this little like U shape.
Oh.
and yeah, and interestingly, it's not even the captain that drives that or any of the officers. When it's on that wheel, it's the helmsman. Like there's helmsman on the bridge.
That sounds cool.
Like sailors. So it's not any striped officer. The striped officers give I think they call it the rudder instructions, even though there's no rudder, but they'll be like 15 degrees to port, and then you turn it.
Iceberg, right ahead. Sorry.
Exactly. So, I mean, I know where the wheel is, but I don't know how to get from autopilot to there. And then even if I got to wherever I wanted to be, I definitely could not dock the ship. Like,
Stopping
that is so
has
intricate.
gotta be a thing.
To,
Yeah.
like, get in there. That's what the captain and the officers do, is they actually, when it's time to dock the ship, they take over control. And I feel like I'm revealing all the secrets now, but it's just this little joystick. It's like they're playing Atari, and that's how they dock the ship. They just move this little joystick, and everything's tied together and come alongside.
And they make it look so easy until you see like one clip on the internet of one that didn't go well, and you're like, idiot. But
yeah, what's this guy doing? I could do that better.
So
yeah, when they like park between ships, like that's amazing.
when they back in and back out, I've seen them do that. I've been on the ship. I like to watch us when we take off and when we dock. Yep. It's not take off. Why do we keep calling it plane stuff? But anyway.
Yeah, depart.
Depart, yeah. Whenever those giant ropes get thrown back into the water and reeled in.
Mooring lines.
God, you know everything. You have to know all this stuff. Okay. How did we get here? You did not, as a little girl, say, I'm going to grow up and be a cruise director.
No, lots of people ask that. They're like, oh, you must have been so inspired by the Love Boat. And I was like, how old do you think I am?
Also, that gives a great look into the demographics on the cruise ships that both of us work
right?
on.
Right. And I usually tell them like, well, I've seen an episode or two at my grandma's house, but it was not part of my childhood. Now I have watched a few seasons just to see, what it was about. But I had never.
It's very horny, by the way.
Yeah.
It was horny TV. It was
in
in the 70s. They got away with things that we would never get away with. The Love Boat was titled that for a reason. I got stuck on a Princess cruise ship with COVID once, and one of the channels just showed the Love Boat, and so I watched many, many episodes, and it's just debaucherous sexual content that it was just on prime time. Just fun fact. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. Princess also has that great Love Boat horn when you depart. Their horn, the ship's horn, plays the Love Boat theme song.
How do I not know that? I've been on their ships. I'm just so used to, you get immune to it after a while.
Yeah, and it's kind of long. So if you're like, I've been out on deck, like on the phone, and I'll be like, just a second, and then it just keeps going. Exactly. I think they recorded you doing
We got verse two's coming.
Yep. Yeah, they do have the regular, like, beep beep horn or whatever, but then they also have the Love Boat theme.
Oh, like
horn.
Disney has the When You Wish Upon a Star to make all other cruise ships feel inferior when we're in port together.
Yeah, we should have the Dutch national anthem or something that plays.
Hello.
Yeah.
So you weren't inspired by the Love Boat. You were just a regular kid.
Yeah, regular kid that didn't travel. Like, we did not travel at all. Our vacations were to a nearby lake. Like, my uncle had a boat, and so we were always camping. So I was on the water. Like, the water had always been a part of my life. Boats were always a part of my life. But I had never been on a cruise. Never thought, oh, I want to do this.
And where did you grow up?
In rural Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Like northwest Pennsylvania. And when I was probably like 23, 24, like shortly out of college, I was working for a touring production show, doing video work. and we needed to buy some new equipment. We were passing through Las Vegas, and our boss was like, hey, we're going to stop. There's this big trade show for like video equipment, and we're going to stop there. And of course, that was my area. So I'm like, having a field day, walking around, seeing all this new tech. And then I saw that there was a job fair on our last morning there. And I was like, ready to leave this life behind me. So I convinced all of my colleagues, like, listen, we've had some really long days. We have a long drive the next day. I think everybody should sleep in. Like, let's not leave until noon. And they were like, that's a great idea. I got up super early. I had my demo reel. I had my resume. I went to this job fair as everyone was still asleep. And there were a couple cruise lines there. And I gave them my stuff and thought, like, I'll never hear from these people. And they contacted me the next day. And I was on my first ship 4 months later. And that was 15 years ago, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is an acquired taste, I think, the life on a cruise ship. But it's you see things that you would never see as a landlocked individual. Like, what's your favorite route, your itinerary?
Alaska.
What's your favorite itinerary? Alaska, mine too. What do you love about it?
Alaska is just so different from any other cruise. Like, there's always something to see outside. I feel like a lot of cruises, the time on the ship, it's just kind of a ferry from one place to another. There's lots happening inside. But when you're in Alaska, like, there's always mountains on the horizon, and it stays light until forever if you're there at the right time of the year. If you're there in like June and July, like, it'll stay light until 11:30 at night. Always have the chance of seeing wildlife, spot so many whales from the ship. It's just so great. I'm also not a big fan of heat. So in the Caribbean, it's nice for a while, but if you're there
we're the same color, I think. Yeah,
I think so. Translucent.
Yeah. We're flannels and beanies, not SPFs. Yeah,
exactly.
And this is prime Alaska time right now. So it's
sure
crazy that you're off during the exciting season.
Yeah, I usually miss the first month or two. I'm actually going back a little late this time. I usually join like early June, and I'll join the end of June, and then I'll finish off the Alaska season. So I'm on board until early October.
How adventurous are you when you're off the ship? I worked with a naturalist once who loved to go into areas that you're like, dude, like, there's like steaming bear poo here. We're not. And she'd be like, bring a whistle. I'm going to have a granola bar. I'm like, don't eat. We're going to. So how adventurous are you? I'm pretty much, I stay on the path, but I like to explore.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely stay on the path. That's just good conservation. Wherever you are, stay on the path. Leave no trace. Abide by all of that. I don't know. I think I'm quite adventurous. I also have bear spray. Don't tell the security team, but I do have bear spray on board that I will take with me if I'm headed out into places where
you just slap a degree sticker over. It's like, oh no, it's just for me, for my daily use.
Try it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but in general, I mean, bears are just as afraid of us as we are of them. So I try to make noise as I go. But I unfortunately just don't have the time to be as adventurous as I want. Like, I get stressed when I am out and I can't see the ship. Like, I'm too far away, that it's like, what if something's happening? I need to be back at this time. Like, it's not very relaxing for me to go out and about. So I'll do short hikes. I love hiking. When I'm off, I will hike. But when I'm on board, it's just hard for me to leave.
Because we have very different schedules, the life of a cruise comedian and the life of a cruise director. I work, I think, a total of 3 hours a week. You never have a moment off.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How fun is that for you to always be on?
One of the first times that I met you, which would have been like probably right after the pandemic, maybe it was even the first summer that the ships were in service. We were in the green room. I think you were still in the small lounge then. We were
BB King's, we were lounge comics because over pandemic, someone convinced them comics should be able to swear on Hall America, and everybody was like, okay.
But we've got to put you in the small room if you're going to swear. It's got to be in a small room. We've got to fit 2,500 people in a 300-seat venue. Yeah, so we learned our lesson there. But one of the first times I worked with you, backstage, you were like, yeah, I just had to call my agent today because, like, per my contract, like, you guys are asking me to work too much. And I was like, I think I was on hour 13 of that day. I think it was a Glacier Bay day where my day started at 5:30 in the morning. And I was like, our lives are
I have 2 shows a week, and I think I was getting asked for a third. I was like, only if we cancel a second, because I did learn that from another cruise ship entertainer. If they ever ask you for extra, say no.
Yeah, I wasn't in disagreement. I was like, we all sign our contracts. We all have things that we are held to. But I was like,
probably complaining to the wrong person, though.
I think so. On that particular day, especially when my day started.
What a great
so
first
early.
impression.
Yeah, it's gotten better over the years. So you won me over.
I mean, I have nothing to say in my defense. I'm like, well, no, it was an interesting time right after pandemic. We were all finding out what our lives were going to be like, and cruises for comics changed ever so slightly. And so we were all, I think, setting our boundaries, and that was I think in one of the coffee talks I did, one of those weeks, whoever was doing the coffee, it was another cruise director who's a very nice British man. And he goes, well, how much material would you say you have? And I was like, I will never, ever say that out loud to you, because then you'll know how much time I could do this week. Like, I have exactly what's in my contract. That's how much time I have.
Yep. I've only got the 45 minutes.
That's right. Twice.
Yep.
But you work, your day starts at 5 a.m. and it doesn't end until the last production show. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the day. My day would normally start at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then go until 9:45, 10 o'clock at night. Like that's a normal day. But then there are days where if you have an early arrival, if it's the day of disembarkation when everybody's leaving, if we're in Glacier Bay and I have to meet the park rangers. I mean, sometimes the rangers come on board at 5:30 in the morning, and I've got to be there ready to meet them and take them to the bridge. So then those days, the problem is your day never finishes any earlier. The evening shows when they are. So there your day starts at 5:30 in the morning and goes until 9:45, 10 o'clock at night.
And again, my complaints on a cruise ship are yours probably times 5, because I'm like, once they've seen my show, every time I leave the cabin, people come up and say hi to me. That is my biggest complaint. And you're never not the cruise director. You're the person to go ask questions of, complain to, I'm sure. Like, what are the most... Let's start with the I'm just bringing up the most frustrating parts of your job. You're at home right now. You could talk.
Yeah.
What's some of
the spirits of my vacation right now?
Remember when you're about to go back to work and passengers are going to complain a lot? What do they complain about?
Yeah, I am never, like, truly never not on unless I am in my cabin, and then still my phone can ring, because even for the crew, I feel like I still have to be on because I set the tone. If I'm like, well, these people, then the crew is going to feel that way as well, and then the whole experience will go down. So I'm truly never not on. But I mean, the complaints, if you will, it just varies, and it varies cruise to cruise. It varies just on what people's expectations are. It can be some show that they didn't enjoy. I had people...
I tried my best, Val. I tried.
I know. You wouldn't believe the comments we get. I had people come to tell me something about like a dessert was made wrong. And I asked them like, well, what did your waiter say about that? And they said, we didn't want to tell them. We wanted to tell you. I was like, well, thank you so much. I will take it back to the culinary team. It just depends.
But you do such a good job, though. You really do. I think you inspire the people around you to be professional, And I've never seen you be rude to anybody. You're very, very, very accommodating and kind.
Well, thank you.
And knowledgeable. Yeah, it seems like you very much enjoy it, though.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. It is, it's all customer facing. Like, it's all customer relations all the time. I mean, you are the brand ambassador. Like, they even say, like, you are the face, you are the voice of the brand on board. It's like, okay. No
pressure, Valerie. No.
Yeah. I have to keep that in mind, that, all of my interactions, like, I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for the company. They have hired me to do this job. So however they want it done, that's how I'm going to do it.
Well, that's nice. That's nice. Even when it rains on poor passengers who came to Alaska and forgot that it's a rainforest.
Exactly. There's a reason it's so green, is usually what I tell them.
Oh, that's really nice of you. I always just say it's a rainforest. It's going to, but yeah, I think I can get away with more, but
it's the world's largest temperate rainforest, I think. Yep.
It's incredible. Have you ever seen, what's the coolest wildlife you've seen personally?
I saw a pack of wolves in Glacier Bay.
Stop it. In Glacier Bay?
Glacier Bay.
Wow.
Yeah. Glacier Bay Day, like I usually pick up the rangers in the morning. So the park ranger team comes on board. I meet them in the morning. I get them settled. And I will be out and about like when we're at glaciers. But for the most part, I'm doing other things. I let them do their thing. But I happened to just like be walking through the ship where I could hear the rangers do commentary over the loudspeaker.
Oh, I know they wake me up. Yeah.
I could hear, yeah, I could hear her say, like, I cannot believe we are seeing this. And I just like froze. I was like, I got to get outside right now. And it was a pack of wolves. I didn't have like any binoculars with me. So there were guests out on deck 3. And I was like, I've never seen this. And they were giving me their binoculars to use. Like we couldn't believe it. Just, I think there were 7 or 8 wolves running along the shoreline. Just wild.
That's incredible. Have you seen a bear?
Yeah, I've seen a bear. I've seen bears from the ship in Glacier Bay. I've seen them on like tours in Ketchikan. And then have you done the ships that do like you do like northbound, southbound, we call them? You go up to Whittier and then you pick up new guests and turn around, you come back
Never
down.
been to Whittier, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My favorite, I think, is Sitka. Anytime we go to, not Sitka, it's Skagway. Anytime we go to Skagway, that's my favorite itinerary.
Yep. Yeah.
Something really magical about Skagway.
Yeah. Whittier, if you get a chance to do those northbound, southbounds, Whittier is such a cool town. It's like the only town where it is. It's connected to the rest of Alaska through a 1-lane tunnel that both cars and the train use. So there's a very specific schedule of like, okay, the train's coming in, the train's coming out, the cars are going in, the cars are going out.
Oh, wow.
So if you miss the tunnel being open, like you just have to wait maybe an hour before it's your chance to go back through. So it's super isolated. The whole town, I think like 80% of the town lives in one building. There's one apartment complex. Like everybody lives there, except there's some stores along the waterfront and some people will live upstairs there. But like there's not neighborhoods. It's all
Talk
just
about a shallow dating pool. I would just like to sit and watch.
Right?
And there's probably like one lesbian in the whole town.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Alaska, so there might be more.
Well, there's a lesbian adjacent. Yeah.
Then-
Well, they're all, it depends on what month it is. They may all be lesbians in February.
Yeah. And that's like Bear Central in Whittier because there's just like not that many people around. So there's bears everywhere. So there's like the bear poo on the trail. And I had a bear like cross the street right in front of me. I had hiked up to this waterfall. I ran into some guys from the B.B. King band and was just like chatting with them. And they had a stick and they're like, don't worry about bears. Like, we'll keep you safe. And then they walked down the street ahead of me. I was maybe 10 minutes behind them. I could still see them. And this bear crossed like right in between us. And so I found them later and was like, you're not going to believe what happened. Like it came out of the playground of that apartment complex, walked over to the campground.
Burps up a kid's hat.
Yep. Out and about. So that was pretty cool as well.
Oh, that's incredible. So what is home like when you are home? Do you have plants? Do you have pets? These are questions I'm sure you get all the time on the ship. But what does home look like for the 2 months that you're home?
Yeah, I don't have plants or pets because they would die because I'm gone 8 months out of the year.
Just a taxidermied plant. It was.
So I don't even have a fake plant around here. Yeah. Nope. Nothing. I had some plants during the pandemic because I was home for a year and a half. But I gave those to my best friend, so she'll send me pictures of them. Be like, orchids are doing great. They're thriving. So yeah, no plants, no pets.
Just a lone wolf.
Just quiet. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I guess it leaves rooms for adventure. That's what yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If something comes up, I can just take off and go.
It's incredible.
It's time for 5 quick questions.
Well, all right, I got to ask you 5 silly questions before we move on to my favorite part of the show. 5 quick questions with Valerie Perry. Question number 1. When you want to feel happy, what song do you listen to?
Feel happy. What song do I listen to? You're supposed to be quick. I have not been listening to much music for probably the past couple years.
This is a fair answer. I would probably say Dateline podcast would be my answer. And yeah. What do you listen to?
More podcasts, audiobooks.
Yeah. A lot more time to kill. Yeah.
Yeah, not music. Sorry. I think also because so much of my life is filled with music, like all the background music.
Sure.
On the ship. Like anywhere you're walking around, there's music playing. So I don't really listen to music in my.
Then what's your most recent podcast?
Well, I've been listening to some Kristin Knows Blank.
Oh, my apologies. Wow. That Whew, anyway. Well, thanks for listening. Yeah, I never listen to comedy podcasts. Mine are all about murder or travel. I've just finished a Titanic documentary on Apple Podcasts. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So if you like the Titanic or big disasters,
I try not to listen to ship disasters. It's a bold move on your.
I listened to it on my last ship. I started it on the Eurodam, and there's just like a different sensory layer to it when you have the sounds of your ship going on around you while you're listening to, day one of the voyage, where the ship was built, how they leave Belfast, the iceberg warnings, what happens in the water. And right now I'm at the trial afterwards. I believe it's a really great podcast. So
what's it called?
It's called Titanic.
Oh,
yeah.
I hope I can remember that.
Well, if you go to Apple Podcasts and put a Titanic, it's the newest one. It's just out right now. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that makes question 2 even weirder. If you're feeling sad, what do you listen to? So emotions not play. Do you have human emotions? Do you ever feel happy or sad?
I'm a robot, so not really. I feel like if I'm feeling sad, I usually don't want to be sad, so I do try to listen to some type of comedy, be that a podcast or stand-up.
That's what normal people should do.
Sure do. I don't try to stay there in it.
You don't try to steer into the sadness.
No. Feel your feelings, but also you need to get through it.
Amazing. Okay, question number 3. You're celebrating. What do you put in your mouth?
On board, key lime pie from Pinnacle Grill.
What a great answer. If you know, you know. What a great answer. Yeah. Okay.
It's got a really great thick graham cracker crust to it that sets it apart from other key lime pie. It's more like a cheesecake. Like it's a really heavy key lime pie with this great crust.
It's silky.
Yeah. Nice.
What's one thing that you can't travel without?
Can't travel without AirPods anymore.
Or AirPods.
Yeah. A lot of noise, just stressful. So, yeah.
I like AirPods as well. And we can't wear them around passengers. I always take them out when passengers are around because I read my handbook.
Yes.
I still don't wear jeans past 6 p.m. And I've been told repeatedly by my colleagues, nobody cares. I'm like, I read it once when I was in my 30s that you're not supposed to wear jeans past a certain time on certain cruise lines. And now every time I'm like, it's 5:50. I got to go change pants. Like, I really do take that very seriously. Like, a passenger's going to see me in jeans and be like, what? An urchin.
What is happening?
She doesn't care about us at all.
I have to change my uniform by 6 p.m. I can't wear whatever my day uniform is.
Yep.
If I'm going to grab something in the buffet, I think it's fine there. But out and about around the ship.
You can just wear your juicy sweatpants.
Yeah, exactly. How did you know that's what I have on right now?
All right, last question. Where do you want to go in the world that you've never been?
Antarctica.
Oh, you and my wife. She doesn't have feelings either, and that's the one place she wants to go. You guys could just beep boop at each other and go to Antarctica.
Yeah, your wife that I once accused you of not being real. I don't know if you remember that in a coffee chat that we had.
That's really funny.
I've worked with you a lot of times, and yet I've never met this person.
That happens a lot. Molly, a lot of people are like, where's Molly? I'm like, she's a real human. She exists. She's a very independent person on her own. Or she's a figment of my imagination. I'm in some sort of Fight Club lesbian marriage.
Yeah, because I think the last time I worked with you, we were sailing to Hawaii, and then in the coffee chat, you were leaving in Honolulu. You were like, "Yeah, my wife's meeting me there, and we're gonna have a few days in Hawaii." And I was like, "Is she?"
Sure. Yeah, sure, Jen. Yeah,
fun.
Is she from Canada? Is your Canadian wife? I
Yeah.
forgot. That's probably why I thought about having you on the podcast too. You've interviewed me before, so take that, Valerie.
Yeah, I sure have.
Had you may wake up on your day off and go.
That's right. And you didn't schedule this at 9 a.m. like I schedule mine.
I did not. That was fun though.
And now it's time for Rad Libs.
Okay, it's my favorite part of every episode is where we get to play a Mad Lib that I've written specifically for you. I've written a story, left out some parts of speech. You're going to give me the parts of speech together. We're going to make a hilarious story. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, I need an
That's good.
adjective.
Write it in pencil in case I make a
I know, in
mistake.
case you do it poorly. I'll be grading your answers as they come in.
Can't wait.
An adjective ending in EST.
Biggest.
Yes. A plural noun.
Banjos.
Yes. So far, if I am grading this, you're getting an A. A container.
A container. Casserole dish.
Yes. You know what? This is why I like having non-comedians on this show. Non-comedians always give more creative and unique answers than comedians because comedians have a tendency to overthink Mad Libs. And regular folk, my wife does this all the time. She just says, you're giving phenomenal answers. I'm just saying.
Hey, thank you. Now the pressure's really on. What if I fall apart?
Okay,
here?
now don't mess it up! An affirmation.
Affirmation. Good job.
Oh, good job.
Affirmation like that or affirmation
Nailed
like
it.
what I would
Yeah,
say to
I don't
myself
have
in the
more
morning?
information.
Okay.
I don't make the rules.
I didn't know if you meant
just-
like your morning affirmations. Like,
Either, really. Yeah.
okay.
Well, now I want to know what your morning affirmation is.
Oh, it always starts with I am kind because I think that's the most important part. Like if
Oh, mine
everything
always
you're
starts with good job.
doing is coming from a place of kindness, then it'll be good.
I'm kind. Good job. Good job. I see what my friend says to her dog all the time. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Mama's here. You're okay.
Is the dog very stressed?
No, I think the owner is.
Okay. Sounds like it. Everybody's
Dog's like,
okay.
I'm fine. What's wrong with you? A number?
8.
Yep. Ooh. A body part?
Big toe.
Yep. An adjective?
Victorian.
Victor. Okay. How much?
How much? Currency or number? Or
I don't have any more information. How much?
The most.
Oh, that's a good answer. A type of footwear.
High heels.
Yes. I'm wearing some right now with my
I know.
juicy sweatpants.
With your juicy sweatpants. I always wear mine together.
Plural noun.
Teddy bears.
Yep. An amount of time.
7 seconds.
Yep. Wow, that makes sense there. A verb ending in ing.
Running.
Running. We're at the halfway point. An article of clothing.
Speedo.
Yep. Yes. Yes. A liquid.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. Oh, yeah. That actually could happen. A plural noun.
Treadmills.
Oh, yes. At this point, have we reached the point where you're just looking around your house for things? Mhm.
A little bit, yeah.
Mhm. Somewhere halfway through, people are like, my keys, just keys, not mine. They're just keys.
Anyone's keys. Walls. Windows.
A big map of my world. Something a cruise director says daily.
A very good morning, everyone.
Oh, that is so... Oh my God, I just had flashbacks to weeks at sea, working 3 hours a day. What a good life I have. Why is she up so early?
Why is this 9:45 a.m. announcement waking me up?
You know what? When there's a time change that you forgot to leave your cabin all night long and so no one told you, it really is. I mean, we have different lives. I don't leave my cabin. I stay in my cabin like 22 hours a day. And
I stay out of my cabin 22 hours a day.
I mean, it's one of those grass is greener things. I'm sure both of us in moderation, this job could be better. Okay. An emotion.
Sadness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Something illegal.
Money laundering.
Oh.
Also just looking around my apartment. and finding-
Yeah, I was like, oh, this big... Not gonna be working as a cruise director much longer. A type of bag.
Suitcase.
Yep. A souvenir.
Magnet.
We have a story, my friend.
All right.
We did it. We wrote a wonderful story written specifically for you. This is called Cruise Packing. Ship Happens.
Love it.
I know, and it's apparently you're going to be giving some advice here to everyone. These are tips on how to pack for a cruise. Packing for a cruise requires more than just tossing your biggest banjos into a casserole dish and hoping for the best. No, it takes time, planning, but with these helpful tips, you'll be zipping up and saying, good job, in no time. I love this. Tip number 1, pack for the weather. If your cruise is to the beach, pack SPF 8, sunscreen, a swimsuit, and at least one item that protects your big toe from sunburn. If you're headed for Alaska, it will be Victorian, and it will definitely rain the most. So make sure and pack
will.
waterproof high heels and some teddy bears.
Good advice.
I guess you could just distract the bears with your teddy bears because you can't run in heels.
Yeah.
Tip number
They
2.
are waterproof, so that would be
The
good.
heels or the... Yes.
I should get some, actually.
You really should. Pictures or it didn't happen. Tip number 2, packing math. For a 7-day cruise, you'll want to pack enough outfits for 7 seconds. You might be swimming, hiking, and running all in one day. So you might go through 3 or 4 pair of Speedos.
Oh.
I mean, it is a cruise. You may. You don't know. I don't know what you hike in, Valerie. Tip 3, avoiding spills. Pack your toiletries in a leak-proof bag. Nothing says first-time cruiser like a suitcase full of exploded Diet Coke. Actually, that's real. That's probably happened to many.
I've had that happen to me.
Mine is always sunscreen. More lotion. Just lotion and sunscreen. Tip number 4, the do not pack list. No matter how tempting it seems, do not pack your treadmills. The cruise line will confiscate them faster than you can say, "A very good morning, everyone." Why, just this last cruise, a lovely couple was feeling much sadness when they were told that they weren't allowed to board the ship with their money laundering. Now that you have these expert packing tips, you'll be able to confidently board the ship with a spirit of adventure and a suitcase full of magnets. Good day, everyone. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you for the affirmation. Thank you.
Oh, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
You are kind.
I am kind.
That is real. That is real. I'm so glad that you came on. I know that you've got books out. You've done travel. Tell us what you have, where people can find you and what they can learn more about Valerie Perry.
Yeah, I have a book out about cruising in Alaska called See More Alaska, SEA, See More Alaska. So you can look for that on Amazon. You'll find it there. You'll find it on a few ships in Alaska this year as well. And then I am Valerie B. Perry on all social media. So I have a bunch of like port guide videos up on YouTube. So if you're sailing Alaska or the Caribbean, I have that information there. Also information about like points and miles traveling. So like credit card points and redeeming that for free travel. So you can check out that on YouTube.
That's worth looking into on its own. Thank you so much for coming on. You're the best.
Thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
Interview complete. Booking a robots only cruise to Alaska. I hope it's clothing optional.
Aw, computer lady's gonna take her first cruise. Well, anyway, thank you so much to Valerie Perry for coming on. Such a good time hanging out with her. Thank you for listening, if you're listening, and thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, that's how you watch the Kristin Knows Blank podcast. You can see what I'm wearing today. It's a gown. That's not true, but you won't know unless you're watching on YouTube. Go ahead, go to YouTube, go to Kristin Key Comedy, subscribe, because not only do you get to see the Kristin Knows Blank podcast, you'll also get content that you cannot get on social media, like the entire Q&As as they're asked from my tour shows. And they're going to be going up every Friday as a new long form Q&A. So go ahead, subscribe, Kristin Key Comedy on YouTube, and see my Q&A Ask Away playlist. It's real fun. Our first one went up last Friday, I think. Maybe it was the Friday before. Anyway, thank you for listening today. I'm going to keep bringing you amazing guests. Oh, come see me on the Camp Kristin tour. Go to my website, kristinkey.com, and find out when I'm going to be in a city near you. Is that everything we were supposed to mention today? This is the Kristin Knows Blank podcast. Thank you for listening. If you liked it, leave us a comment or just whatever, subscribe so you can find out when new episodes come up. I'm trying to do it every week. I'm doing my very, very best, and I'm having a really good time doing it. So I will continue to bring you this podcast because I love it. And so until next time, why are we whispering?
We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. 'Cause Kristin knows